Hey guys, Trivial here. In lieu of a battle report tonight, I figured I would do a little bit of painting so that way we could really, see those objective markers on the battlefield. So I figured this would be a good, a good chance to sort of display how I do certain things. And in this case, it'll be how I turn this into bone. I really enjoy painting bone, and a couple of my friends have asked me how I do it, and therefore I figured I would start. So first thing I do is I take this base, that's what they suggest, Xandri dust, and painting like a heathen. That would be taking paint straight from the pot instead of thinning it down like GW tells you to. What I'm doing is I'm going to put a coat of bone on this. You hear the dog in the background knocking on her bone or something. She's gnawing on it. Anyway, I'm going to put a coating of bone on here, and I figured I'd show everybody how I do it. It's no real magic, I just follow almost exactly the Games Workshop method of doing things. So the first thing would be to put a coat of Xandri dust on as base. Now I used to use Mournfang Brown for this, and it will work just as well in the end, but I found that Xandri base was actually a little bit better because you didn't have to cover up quite so much. So, alrighty. So now that we have an entire base coat on, we take this one away and bring up one that we have done prior that is magically dry. Take out the old Agrax Earthshade. Don't know if you guys saw that, but whatever. And thank you, darling. Mr. Duncan, GW's Duncan, will tell you, only put it in the recesses. You'll only get it in the recesses. That's the only way to do it. But the way that I do it is I just slop it on. Just like this, see? And just slop it on. Yeah, make sure you get plenty in that eye hole, because otherwise they're going to see whatever. And don't even worry about being a little messy, because all of this is going to be covered up, every bit of it. Alright, so get in every little recess there is. Get the back. Just like that. Look at me, I'm just coating this sucker. Alright. There she is. Just make sure that all those all those little lines are nice and filled and dark and brown. You see there? Alright. We're going to take a break and let that dry. I have one that's almost dry, so I'll be back in just a moment. It looks like I pretty much have it all done. As you can see, I covered up pretty much all of the Xandri dust, but I left all of the ink in place. See how it's like with his teeth right here. I only went over top of the teeth, and this took me about an extra maybe 3 minutes after what I did. Alrighty, now we're going to go ahead and put a layer of Screaming Skull on, and as with everything else, give it a little shake. And as with everything else, I'm taking it right from the top because, again, I am a heathen, so to speak. So, something that looks like this. Okay, it's got a nice little flat side. Alrighty, so just put a little on that tip. I rub most of it off onto my paper towel, and then I just hit the highlight. So where you might think the light would hit it. And don't be afraid to put a little bit, be a little heavy on it where those bone ridges are. Still in focus, Evelyn?
Yeah.
Now, I love to dry brush, and I hate, much as I think all of you do, I hate to do any kind of, like shading or drawing lines. I hate drawing lines on where armor plates meet and stuff like that. I just refuse to do that. So, still in the shot? So, I just kind of go right over it, just like so. Just produce that nice light bone color.
It's a little blurry.
That's okay. I'm just about done. Alright, can you see?
That's fine now.
Put it down. Ha. So that's what it looks like, and that's it. It's just as simple as that. If you wanted to get really technical about it, you could probably, take your detail brush and draw some more layers of screaming skull around where the ridges are, anywhere it's really pronounced, like right around this eye socket or the nose or whatnot. But I just don't, it doesn't bother me at all. So that is what the finished product looks like. We're just about to finish painting this bad mama jamma. We finished the bone on him and figured I'd do the rest of him some sort of like metallic color, and as is per normal, I wanted to do it as lazily as possible because you don't want to spend 1,000 years on painting up objectives. So pretty much all I did was I painted everything black that wasn't skull. So you see it's all black, and that took a little while, maybe about 10 minutes, not too bad. So then I'm just gonna take Ironbreaker, pop this sucker open. Alrighty. Then I'm going to dip my dry brush directly in there, again like a heathen, and wipe most of it off on a little paper towel. And then I'm just going to go over all of the surface with, all the black that is, with this very lightly, just brushing it on. And I'm trying not to get it on the bone, but it's a dry brush, so it shouldn't be too awful bad. Get a little more on there. Make sure you do a pretty good job of wiping most of it off on the paper towel. And then you just cover all the black area with this color. It's only going to be 2 colors because these are just objective markers, and in a second I'm going to go ahead and toss a couple of transfers on, so I'll show you how I do that too. It's not that intricate a process, but it took me a little bit just to get it down, so I figured I'd show what I do. Alright, so now that these are all pretty much alright, all done. Now if I'm feeling really, motivated, I guess you could say, put a little Nuln oil on there, and I think I actually will, just to dull it up a little bit and make it look just like kind of an oldish skull. And then I'm going to paint a couple little red dots on the little eye holes. For whatever reason, they have little laser thingies on them. So I'll be right back after I shade this guy. And shading is just going to be the same as before. I'm just going to dip my brush straight into the Nuln oil and cover it up. So let's see. Actually, I'll do that right now. Why not? Don't even have to wait for it to really dry because it's already pretty much dry. So dip it in there. Get just a little on there. You don't want to get it on the bone part of it. You want to get plenty of it on here. just like so. Alrighty. And again, there's no magic happening in between this or anything like that. I'm not doing anything in between filming. Alright, let's see, get a little more on there. Turn her around, get this side. And there you have it. All done. A little more on top. And then just going to let it dry for, I don't know, maybe 5 or 10 minutes before I start those lenses. See you guys then. That's it all. The first color, I'm going to go with a little corn red here. So get a little on the old paintbrush. I just have a little fine detail brush. And I'm just going to very carefully go around it. Like so. Then I turn it around and go around the other side.
You're kind of shaking the box.
It's alright. Alright, so now all done there. While it's still wet, doesn't have to dry or anything, I'm going to go ahead and hit it with a, and you know what, I'm going to go with the Evil Sun Scarlet, because I like the Evil Sun Scarlet. It's good stuff. And usually when I do something like this, I like to refer to some sort of like little guide or gem guide or something like that, because it just helps. So what I'm going to do, take a little bit of this Evil Sun Scarlet.
It's a gem guide.
And just go along the bottom just a little bit here. Just where I think the light would be hitting it.
It's getting blurry.
Oh, sorry.
Daddy, it's getting blurry.
How about now?
It's still blurry. Good, and then it's like getting good and then blurry, good and then blurry.
Huh. That's no good. Alright, well, if you can see, what I did was I just kind of did the bottom of it where you might think the light would be hitting, and then real quick before that dries, I get out my lightest color. I'll use Wild Rider Red because why not?
Looks like orange.
It's a little bit orange. And so then down. Oh no. Okay, there we go. It's almost dried up. So you get a little tiny bit on and just put it right on the tip. There we go. Just like that. Can you see? I'm just about to put the transfer on the top of this guy's head. So the first thing I did, I have this stuff. It's called Microset. It's very nice. It smells very much like vinegar. And I just poured a little bit into here. It's already in there. Next, I take my one subjective marker 1, and I just toss it right in, because why not? I'm going to wait probably about, I don't know, 20 seconds or so. But in the meantime, get a little bit of this stuff on your brush, and you just real gently brush it onto where you want to go. That way you lube up the surface. You see? Alright, now number 1 should be just about ready to come off. Aha! There we go. So you get it on there. Get it on. You see it's backwards, so I just kind of take the brush and brush it this way, brush it that way. Get frustrated with it, tear it off. Take another one out, put it on there the right way first time, and then you don't have to worry about doing this, but okay. So there you have it. And then I kind of center it so you can see it better. Alright. Then, see how it's a little one there? Let me put that down. Once it's dry, and you do have to wait for it to dry, you can't cheat and think you can just put this over top, because you'll just move in, get frustrated, and have to do it all over again. You put this stuff on. It's number 2. It's called Microsol. And Microsol, it kind of like dissolves that little shiny plastic layer, and then after that you just hit it with a little bit of matte spray. Now what I did, because one is called set and one is called sol, and I could never remember, I put a little 1 and a 2 on there. See that? 1 for Microset, 2, and then 2 for Microsol. That way I never get confused. First one goes on first, second one goes on second. Hope that was simple enough, and I'll see you guys back here once I've put some Microsol on this thing. And here we have a shot of all 6 of them, all done exactly as I did the other ones. You can see I just painted them exactly the same. Took a couple hours, pretty much the whole night tonight, from, I don't know, about 8 o'clock until about 11 o'clock, so 3 hours for these 6 things. Not too bad, not too bad. Just put the time in, take it slow, and you can do the exact same. Can't wait to use these in a game.